In this video, I'm going to show you how to beat the 7-star Meganium Meganium. Now, currently, there isn't a flawless solo build. If there is one that comes out, I will update this video and make a new one. But right now, this one is a bit RNG heavy. It makes the use of Skeledirge, which is one of the starter Pokemon. If you don't have a Skeledirge, I recommend going to my Discord and asking people for a trade. Some people can give you one if you need. You're going to want your Skeledirge to be level 100. It should have the Ghost Tera type because we're doing ghost damage against the Psychic Meganium. Our held item is going to be the Shell Bell so that we can heal ourselves because this is a very defense-oriented raid. We have to stay alive. Our ability needs to be the hidden ability called Unaware, so you can use an ability patch if you don't have this ability in order to get this ability. This ability essentially makes us ignore the target stat changes. So if Meganium raises its defense and stuff, we can ignore it and attack through that anyway. So it's great. We're going to have the modest nature that gives us a 10% increase to special attack for a 10% decrease to physical attack. Of course, you're going to have best IVs. For your EVs, you're going to have 252 EVs into HP, 252 EVs into defense, and 4 EVs into special attack or anything else for that matter. But for our moves of choice, we're using the Torch Song move, which is unique to Skeledirge, which is going to boost our special attack while as counting as an attack. So we can use this at the beginning to raise our special attack stat to get it as high as possible so that we can hit as hard as possible. I have Will-O-Wisp as a move that we can use to apply a burn if we want to use Hex later on, which I'll speak about in a second. We have Shadow Ball, which is our main attack that once we terrestrialize into our Ghost terrestrialized form, as well as having our special attack boosted up all the way from Torch Song, you're going to basically use Shadow Ball until you win. And this also has a chance to lower the target's special defense, which makes this hit harder, which is nicer. Alternatively, we have Hex. Now, Hex is a weaker ghost move, but it does double damage if there is a status effect on the Meganium. So if it's got like paralyzed or burned, something like that, if you use Hex, it's going to deal a lot more damage than what Shadow Ball does. But it's a bit specific to how your raid goes, because some of my raids went without status effects and some of them went with status effects. It depends on what your NPC Pokemon do. Now, to get the Meganium raid available in your game, you're going to have to go to the Pokeportal, and then from here you can go down to Mystery Gift, and then check Pokeportal news at the bottom, and this will bring up the news for the event, as well as activating the event within your game. And then, of course, as usual, you just have to find the Black Crystal Raid. This one is going to be Psychic type, so it's going to look just like this, and then you can go ahead and begin it. So we're going to go ahead and challenge this raid alone. Now, as I mentioned before, the NPCs that are with you create a huge RNG to how successful you are. I think one of the best NPCs you can have here is God of War. If you have God of War there on the right-hand side, she literally made me survive this entire raid because she kept healing me throughout the raid. So Meganium will start out using a light screen as well as a reflect right off the bat so that, you know, your damage is very minimal at the start. We're going to start out and use Torch Song, and we're going to use it 3 times. So use Torch Song 3 times. So go ahead and get all 3 of these out. This will charge your special attack up by 3 stages, and then once you unlock your terrestrialization on your 4th turn, you're going to go ahead and quickly use either Shadow Ball if there's no status. If there is a status effect, you're going to use Hex. In our case, we don't have a status effect on Meganium. There's no paralyzed or burnt or anything, so we're just going to use Shadow Ball. But if you do have like one of those statuses, use Hex because you're going to get a nice bit of damage out here, and it's also a good chance to heal your HP up if you don't have like a God of War using Life Dew to heal you up like I have in my game here. You'll see around this point, Meganium will then bring out its shield, and right after it brings out its shield is also going to nullify any stat changes that you've made. So all of your Torch Songs that you've used up until this point no longer exist, which is kind of sad. So which means you have to now use Torch Song about 5 or 6 times. Just make sure you keep an eye on your HP. If you have to use like Cheer Bulk Up or something to keep yourself strong, do so. In my case, I have the God of War who's using Life Dew to heal me. So it's really RNG based on like how you stay alive for this point to boost yourself up because you need the damage. Because you can see here, I'm getting hit with some critical hits that really, really hurt on my Skeledirge here. After you have your torch song raised about 5 or 6 times, you're just going to use Shadow Ball until you win, essentially. So Shadow Ball over and over so that you heal yourself with the Shell Bell item and you're getting your damage out, because now it's a race against that timer because you have to defeat it before that timer ends. If you've done so correctly and you've survived up until this far and you have like, you know, like a God of War or something keeping you alive up in this far, you should be able to do what I'm doing right over here, just spamming Shadow Ball over and over and over again. And you can see here that I'm slowly defeating its health bar, but just in line with the time bar. And I was able to snag a victory out of this. But it wasn't my first try. I had to try a few times. So that's why I say it's very RNG heavy. And the rewards for this raid are as follows if you are interested in that. But yeah, if there is a better build, I will share it in the future. And thank you so much for watching. Good luck.